Well, as part of its annual birthday celebrations, the ANC played a round of golf led by its president, Ramaphosa, as also part of efforts to raise funds for the party's upcoming events. While the party has a range of events lined up, of course, this is ahead of its January 8th statement this weekend. And our senior reporter, Siphamandla Goge, is on that story and he joins me now for more. Sipha, I also believe that you had an opportunity to speak to the ANC's deputy president. What has he had to say as we lead up to this January 8th statement, as well as the renewal effort of the African National Congress?
Paul Mashatile, who is the deputy president of the ANC, says the focus of the governing party after the 55th National Conference will be on unity and renewal. He told eNCA that for the next 10 years, yes, you heard correctly, 10 years, they will be focusing on renewal and unity. He's inside the Pigela House here, one of the founding members of what was known as the South African National Natives Council, which later became known as the ANC. So the leadership of the ANC, including the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, the deputy secretary general of the ANC, Nomvula Mokonyane, are visiting the Mapigela House here in Bloemfontein as part of the activities. Before we listen to what Paul Mashatile said, let's talk to the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Nomvula Mokonyane. Thank you very much for your time. The conference is over. What were the key resolutions?
Key in the resolutions, it's about ensuring that the ANC reconnects with the masses of our people, be responsive, and most importantly, have members who are rooted in the communities that they live in, so that we sustain that recognition of being a leader of society. It can only be done if we are a united formation. It can only be done if we renew the manner in which we do things and the manner in which our programs are effected. And the last issue is also about strengthening what is very historic in the functioning of the ANC, which is the alliance. Enter the space about the repositioning, the reconfiguration of the alliance.
You mentioned the alliance. There was an outcry when some of its senior members did not make it to the NEC. How is the co-option of additional NEC members going?
In fact, we have office bearers of the South African Communist Party like David Masondo, who is in the NEC. We have a number of communists, members of the South African Communist Party like myself, who are there. Yes, there might be a perception that you don't have leaders of the SACP looking at those that have been known to be leaders of the party. Issues of co-option, we look at various matters, what is lacking in the collective, what we need to strengthen, and so on and so forth. But what is also of importance is that election into the ANC is on the basis of you as a member and not a representative of the alliance.
I read somewhere that for the next 5 years you want to focus on the ANC cadre. That talks to the issue of the quality of the ANC membership. You have had a decade of the cadre which did not produce any desired results. You want to add another 5 years now focusing on the cadre. Why are you struggling to get it right with the quality of the membership you recruit?
For a movement as old as the African National Congress and this kind of experience of being 111 years, you always adapt to the material conditions and look at the capacity that you require. You will never end to build a cadre. So it does not have, a deadline that now we are stopping. We have looked at the OR Tambo School of Leadership that has already started to build that foundation of cadreship. You've seen how we have dealt with the deployments. You've seen how we have dealt with the criteria of standing for leadership. And we believe that for renewal, as well as for the repositioning of the ANC, you need to have activist membership.
This unity and renewal of the ANC, how do you plan to undertake it? Because for the last 5 years, taking into account that from December 2017 in Nasrec, you have dismally failed to undertake that project.
It will depend on the leadership elected. We are having the first NEC today. that is going to look at the January 8 statement. We will also be going into our own Lekgotla, which is also going to be very important, and an induction. So that will give us an opportunity to say, where did we go wrong? And we'll be open with one another. And it's good that we intend to do this immediately, so that by the time we implement, everything would have been understood by everyone. We can't all be monolithic. Of course, there will be diversity. However, there must be an appreciation of a common vision.
What will be the focus of the January 8 statement of the NEC that will be delivered by the President?
This is a precursor to the coming general elections. It will be about changing the lives of our people, uniting the African National Congress, and most importantly, galvanizing youth formations and young people of our country behind the ANC.
You say changing the lives of South Africans. You have had a chance since 1994 to do so here in Bloemfontein, where we are, where the ANC was basically formed. The situation is not looking good. Everything under the ANC has collapsed.
It never ends. Changing doesn't actually end. It's ongoing. Of course, there are trials and errors. We'll continue to deal with them. We're the first to acknowledge that we have had challenges. And it's only the ANC that has acknowledged its own challenges and also saying this is how we can deal with those issues. Issues of energy, issues of gender-based violence, issues of access to quality education are things that we are also going to be looking at.
I was about to ask you that question, that when you said you were ready to govern, is this the kind of society that you wanted to lead and govern as the ANC? A society plagued by violent crime, rampant corruption, gender-based violence, femicide, blackouts every day. As we speak, we're on stage 4 load shedding. South Africans are tired.
Access to services have been designed for a few in this country. Stretching it beyond what was planned does actually affect the sustainability. Secondly, the absence of a mixed energy intervention. It's one of the things that even the conference said, let's look at energy security. So what we have done, a lot has been done, of course, and we do admit that a lot can still be done. So it is the ANC that admits, and we will never tire. Our struggle is very protracted. Where we make mistakes, we do also commit to have turnaround interventions, and we have done it in many places.
At some point, the President of the Republic of South Africa, who's the ANC deployee to government, will reshuffle his cabinet. There are calls for a balanced representation of women in that regard. What is your take when that cabinet reshuffle takes place?
I think we must give the President the space. We must also give the ANC to do an assessment so that as the President applies his mind, he will take the issues around gender representation, he will take the issue around strategic positions that must be led by strategic people who will be able to take the decisions of the policies of the ANC forward. For now, I think what we must focus on is to make sure that the President, together with the deployees, go back through SONA to pronounce that will be coming out of the January 8 statement.
Thank you very much for your time. Nomvula Mokonyane, who is the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, as she's part of the ANC's top leadership that is at Mapigela House. Bongam Mkhize will show you here. ANC members await the arrival of their President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who will be visiting the family members of the struggle stalwart. With that, we have to take it back to you in studio, as we'll pick up later when this program gets underway.